Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I was thinking I might start a video series discussing my opinions on various issues in the racing world. And today I wanted to talk about the Corkscrew at Laguna Seca, and I want to go into some detail about why I think it is, well, the most overrated corner in all of racing. So if you're on my channel, you're probably familiar with Laguna Seca, and of course everybody that knows Laguna Seca knows about the famous corkscrew. It's unique, it certainly looks dramatic with a big drop off after the tight left-hander, but from the cockpit the drop's novelty wears off after a couple laps, and after that really it's just another low-speed chicane. So let's jump in the cockpit. In this video I'll be using the Pro Mazda in iRacing, but my opinions and experience is based off of my real-world experience. I've driven two cars at this track, the Skip Arbor Series race car and the Pro Mazda car. I raced here in 06 and 07 in the Pro car, and then a year or two before that in the Skip Arbor car. I'm driving in VR, and I've lowered the camera a little bit, since the default camera position in iRacing I think is a little bit higher than I remember sitting in the car. We're looking out of my left eye, so that's why everything looks like it's shifted over to the right. So approaching the corkscrew, you're headed uphill, and you'll be rising over a crest when you get on the brakes. And usually, braking over a crest adds a bit of a challenge because the car sort of starts to get light, and it's easy to lock the brakes. But the crest, heading into the corkscrew, it affects the braking a little bit, but it's not really enough of a dramatic elevation change to drastically upset the car. And it is blind, but you have the curbing on the right side of the track, and then you have that number board right there. So you never really feel lost. You always have enough reference points to establish a braking point and to help you line up the car as you go over the crest. And then as you get to the turn-in point, and you find yourself at the top of the hill, you still can't see very far, but you still have a plethora of reference points to help you figure out where you are on the track and where you want to be. If you look past the corkscrew, there's a very distinctive tree that is really well replicated in iRacing, and it's there in real life as well. And if you can pick that out as you turn in to the left-hander, and you want to line your car up with that tree, and it sets you up perfectly to go over the hill and hit the apex for the right-hander, even though you can't see it. And then, as I said before, as you go over the drop, it's dramatic for maybe the first 2 or 3 laps, but once you get used to it, after that point, your mind is already starting to think about the next turn, rainy corner, and you don't really feel it as dramatically as people might expect. And then exiting the corner is really simple because you have gravity accelerating you down the hill, but also as the drop levels out, gravity is also pushing the car into the track. So even in the Pro Mazda car with a lot of power and an open differential, you can just, once you go over the top, you just bury your foot in the throttle and it'll just drive away. It hooks up really nicely. So all of the things that sort of make it look dramatic, the blind crest, the steep drop, all of those things are sort of negated by the fact that you have a lot of reference points, that it's just not a very fast corner, and there's a good bit of runoff room, but again, you're not going all that fast through the corner. I think it's second gear in the Pro Mazda. In terms of lap times, it's not a very important corner because it's slow, like I said, and there's only a very short straight between the exit of the corkscrew and then the next turn. So you can lose a lot of time going through the corkscrew, but you're not really going to gain a lot of time. And it's not a great passing zone either because of all the elevation change. But of course, there's the famous Zanardi pass in 1996. However, that pass was totally illegal. So that's my opinion, guys. Do you agree? Am I oversimplifying it? Whether you've driven it in real life or in simulators and racing games, do you think it lives up to the hype? And was Zanardi's pass legal? Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you next time.